So, Paul Duddridge, good to see you. Now, Trump, what's happening with him? He's calling for the release of January the 6th hostages. What's that about?
He was on the stump yesterday making speeches in Iowa for the caucuses that are coming up on the 15th of January. That's a really significant date, 15th January, Iowa caucus. He called on Joe Biden to release he called them everybody imprisoned after January the 6th, after the riot, not an insurrection, but a riot. He called for them to be released. He called them hostages. Now, I'm Trump till the end. The problem that I think he might have by using such language is, you know, this 14th Amendment that everybody's telling you about, that could keep Trump off the ballot. It's either engaging in an insurrection or offering comfort to those who engage in an insurrection. And it looks like now we're going to go to the Supreme Court on February the 8th. Trump's appeal against the being kept off the Colorado ballot is being heard from February the 8th. It's possible that any legal eagles on the left could suggest that Trump calling for the release of hostages, calling them hostages, inferring that they're political prisoners, etc., could extend to them being treated as being treated as comfort to those people. Because, you know, there's a lot of ill will towards Trump in the establishment, and they will find any dot or tittle to be able to try and destroy his chances in 2024.
So all this not being put on the ballot, are any of them being successful?
Yes, well, technically they all, not all of them, okay, but they're being paused. So Colorado, which made the news, has now been paused. So he's technically on the Colorado ballot, but that's paused whilst it's being appealed. So it's a mixed bag. There's, like, I think Illinois this week, Massachusetts this week, the voters are signing petitions to keep him off that ballot. So there is an active campaign to use state law to keep him off individual state ballots. That's what's actively happening. What Trump would hope is that after February the 8th, after the hearings from the Supreme Court, that should put an end to any of that kind of activity. However, it's been reported that Trump is nervous that the Supreme Court, 3 of whose members he's appointed, are going to actually turn on him and not support his appeal. So that's why I'm really a bit of a nervous Nelly about him using language calling the January the 6th rioters hostages, because if they can find any excuse to legally keep him off the ballot, they will. So, like I said, it's not, there's no quote from Trump that he's worried about the Supreme Court, but it has been reported by credible journalists that he's worried that the Supreme Court's going to turn on him as well.
And very briefly, Trump was on the list, wasn't he, for Epstein, on that document that came out?
This gives you an idea of how badly he is viewed by by American journalists. Okay, so yes, he was on the list and he was exonerated, and then a publication who I won't even name said, "Oh, we fact-checked this. This is a lie. He wasn't exonerated." And the reason being is, like, if you're not accused of a crime, you can't be exonerated. They will find any weasel words to, yeah. So yes, he was on the list. Completely exonerated, so far anyway, touch wood, he's not been implicated in any of the heinous kind of accusations that have been made against very famous establishment figures.
Thank you so much. That's Paul Duddridge, host of the Politics People podcast. Good to talk to you.